Hey guys, KermitFan95 here with another commentary. Well, this video is going to be on a guy named John McClane, a user who tends to make videos on movies and, stuff like that. The video we're covering is his top 10 overrated movies, the one that was made on the 6th of September. You see, I say that because he's made videos on this exact same topic almost weekly during the month of September. Seriously, he had to keep remaking the videos because apparently he wasn't happy with them or something like that. I don't know. Jesus Christ. We're not even started yet and I already have like a slight complaint, but anyway, let's just get this started, shall we?
Greetings YouTube, hope you're having a nice one, and in this video I'm going to do top 10 overrated movies. These are movies that I hate but everyone else seems to love. Now before I get into this list, I want to give you 3 warnings. 1, I can't analyze all my reasonings, I have to summarize them because if I do, it'll take too long.
You know, it might take longer, but analyzing all of your reasonings would have at least explained to us why you came to the conclusions that you did.
2, I will be screaming and raging. I'm not actually angry, it's only intended for comedic purposes.
I would say most viewers watching this probably knew that your raging and screaming were for comedic purposes, given that probably all of them have heard of Angry Video Game Nerd and Nostalgia Critic. The point I'm trying to get across here is that the main gripes that we all have with your video is your reasoning, not your comedic delivery. Also, I'm going to cut out his third warning since it's basically him pulling the "it's my opinion" card.
Diving into number 10, The Little Mermaid. I just don't get why people think this is a good movie. I really don't.
This may be a cliche point, but opinions. That is all.
Ariel is a whiny, spoiled brat who pretty much is, I want this, I want that, gotta have this, gotta have that. I want to go into the world so badly, even though it could be dangerous. But no, I want to go anyway and disobey my father and just be an obnoxious prick. That's all she really is.
Given that she's a young princess, being spawned and such really shouldn't be surprising, given that most characters like this would have those traits. And to be honest, it works that they evolve from that to a more mature character. And it's been a long time since I've seen this particular movie, but I think she does do that at least a little bit in the ending.
Ursula's not a good antagonist. She's a joke and doesn't intimidate me at all.
The best villains don't always have to intimidate you. Ursula works as a good villain because she has a clear goal, her plan is simple yet effective, and her personality clashes with Ariel's pretty well. For a Disney villain, I don't know what else you're really wanting here.
And not only is Ariel not a likable character, she's also really, really stupid. Like, she is a fucking moron. Like, when she goes to Ursula, tries to make a deal with her, saying that, if I give you my voice, you have to give me the Prince Eric, and yada, yada, yada. You know the goddamn story. What the hell? Are you that freaking stupid? I mean, oh my god. Like, this film pretty much teaches you that if you want something, you have to make a deal with a criminal mastermind. That'd be like making a deal with a mob boss or whatever, basically says, like, if you kill all these people, I'll give you an action figure. Or help you get good grades in school. Like, really? Are you that freaking stupid?
God, where do I start with this? Okay. First of all, that was an awful comparison. Second off, I think the lesson would be more along the lines of don't trust strangers rather than the lesson you presented. And finally, while Ariel could be argued for being stupid for doing it, remember that Ursula's helpers lured her into going? It's not as like Ariel would know who Ursula was unless she asked her father, and given that she's a bit of a rebellious teenager in this point of the story, that probably wouldn't happen.
Number 9, Rise of the Planet of the Apes. This is a film I was looking forward to. I'm not a huge Planet of the Apes guy, first of all, but still, it looked interesting by the trailers, and I thought this was going to be a really good film. But boy, was I wrong. This is a boring film. So boring, so preachy. I don't want to be lectured. I want to be freaking entertained. That's what I watch movies for entertainment, not for being lectured.
What exactly is it that they lecture us about? We're not sure because you haven't said, and irritatingly enough, you never do in this video.
Also, the CGI is just crap. It looks like something out of freaking Zoo Tycoon. That's how fake it looks. This is pretty much a ripoff of Deep Blue Sea and Free Willy put together. That's all it is.
A movie about the apes overturning mankind as the dominant species is somehow a rip-off of Free Willy. In what bizarre world does that even make sense? And you're going to try to argue this in the most bizarre logic possible, aren't you?
Because these scientists are trying to figure out some cure or some crap to test DNA on apes and yada yada yada. I actually forget because this film is freaking forgettable. And at the same time, it's also a ripoff of Free Willy because James Franco's character, he meets Caesar. I think that's his name. I can't freaking remember. You know, they become friends, which is very similar to how Jesse and Willie became friends in freaking Free Willy. That's all this is. It's a ripoff of Deep Blue Sea and Free Willy. How original!
Your comparison still doesn't make sense. Sure, well done, you pointed out some similarities to each other in plot points, but guess what? Movies tend to do this all the time, so trying to argue this just really doesn't make, well, sense.
My God! Number 8, the RoboCop remake. Wow, I actually didn't have hope for this film at all. The posters didn't help, the trailers did worse. But you know what? I figured I'd give it a chance, and this film freaking sucked. Everyone I know seems to say, oh my God, this film is really good. And some people even say it's better than the original. What the fuck? Better than the original? Are you shitting me?
Better than the original? Are you shitting me? These people have their own opinion. My God. Also, to be honest, I haven't seen the new RoboCop at all, so I can't say much about the rest of his points here. And I'm also going to be skipping his segments on Spider-Man 2 because it's basically him stating his opinions, unlike his last segments, because, you know, he keeps trying to present them as arguments when he said he wouldn't be doing that. And Wreck-It Ralph because, again, I haven't watched it and I'm not really interested in doing so at the moment.
5 Cars. This was a dumb idea to begin with, Pixar. What the hell were you thinking with this? Lightning McQueen is a douche and isn't really likable, even though I do like Owen Wilson, but he does a terrible job due to the fucking script.
Lightning McQueen's character is essentially a riches to rags story. Starts off as a pompous douchebag due to his lifestyle, and by the end is humbled by the characters in Radiator Springs. I know that at the start of your video you tried claiming that this was all opinion, but frankly some research in detail probably would have helped these rants of yours, because frankly they're all failing at the minute.
The humor sucks, it's really repetitive, and it gets old after a while, and it's annoying and unfunny. The antagonist sucks. Generic storyline, really cliche. That's, you know, I want to win this race so I can get money and go on frickin' vacation. That's a shitty motivation right there.
As far as motivations go for villains, what else would Chick Hicks do what he does for? The characters are equivalent to athletes in this world, and the main character is the rookie sensation. The villain is the guy always coming in second place and is sick of it, so he'll do whatever it takes to get ahead. Do you know, it may be cliche, but it was probably the best choice they could go with as far as antagonist motivations for a story like this.
Number 4, Wanted. Man, my main problem with this film is the pacing is inconsistent.
Okay, you say this, and seriously, it takes you almost a minute and a half to get around to explaining your claim about it being inconsistent. Ugh.
Call me King Kong, bitch!
Number 3, The Hunger Games.
I kept this bit in because I have some slight complaints here. When you're referring to this movie, I think it would have been a bit less confusing for some people if you referred to it as the first Hunger Games, because, you know, given that the series is named The Hunger Games, some people might not know if you're trying to say about the first movie or the series in general. Also, your President Snow jokes are really cringy, and I think I'm doing the world a favour by skipping to your next entry on this list.
Titanic. What happened to James Cameron? He used to make a lot of good films, and he was one of my favorite directors. Like Terminator 1 and 2, Aliens, and many other classics before this fucking movie. Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet have terrible chemistry. Like, I don't buy them at all. And they are good actors, but they just don't do it for me because of the shitty script. It's really predictable. You know what's going to happen. And at times, it's really historically inaccurate because I don't think there was a person named Jack and Rose. I don't buy that crap.
Okay, so I was going to skip this segment too because, again, most of your points were opinion. But then you questioned its historical accuracy, and I just have to say, of course it's not entirely accurate. They created Jack and Rose to give us a pair of main characters to give a damn about, so obviously they're going to present them as almost unrealistically good-hearted. I don't see the point in having this as a complaint, saying as how you only argued about them being historically inaccurate, and not if they were good characters or not.
Finding fucking Nemo. Ah, my god. Why does this film get so much praise? I mean, I actually read a review or whatever that said it's outdone Toy Story and The Lion King. What the hell are you talking about?
Okay, I swear this is the last time I'm gonna bring this up, but for someone who claims at the beginning of the video that all of this is his opinion, he sure does like to criticize others for theirs, doesn't he?
Like, Nemo's a spoiled little brat. Marlin's a fucking idiot. Because this film, my main problem with this film kills it for me. This film is a bad lesson for children. It basically says, screw you, Dad. I'm right. Hey, I was wrong. But you know, I get rewarded in the end. I'm forgiven. It's like, God, I know this is a kid's film, but come on, at least show the fucking consequences. Because the premise is where Nemo disobeys his father, which I'm like, wow, that kid's a freaking asshole. He gets kidnapped and Marlin tries to save him. Okay, fine. But in the end, because Marlin's risking his life, at the end, he forgives him and acts like it never fucking happened. What the hell? I mean, you should be showing them the consequences. You should have been like, hey, son, do you realize what I did? I busted my ass to save you. You're grounded.
Okay, so first off, the dad's an idiot because Nemo touches his boat despite being told not to. Okay, how does that work? Secondly, the lesson for children you tried claiming they were putting across, they were advocating the complete opposite, you twit. And I'm sorry, but being rewarded? What, being abducted and being sent to a dentist's office where said dentist is going to give you to his niece who's going to be the end of you isn't punishing enough? You want further consequences to happen to this kid for not doing what he was told by his parent? I think punishing Nemo a little bit more at this point would just be borderline sadistic. I'm going to skip some of his points here on Dory, but before we get to my final thoughts...
I mean, she's annoying, she's repetitive, and God gives me a goddamn headache.
That just about sums up your countdown in general. Seriously though, your arguments were quite weak and didn't back up your opinions at all. In fact, the majority of your video was more opinion than fact. And like I said before, research and detail would have assisted you in the long run here. Well, with that, that's the end of this video. This has been KermyFan95 signing out and hope you all had a Merry Christmas.